Goes in, he listens to his top generals tell him what would be good strikes and what wouldn't, where we need to get people that are promoting and propagating the cause of violence against America and American interests, and they tell him what should be done. From those things, he selects the ones that he thinks are politically viable, and then he runs them back by these generals and the committee, the staff that runs it. They're not all enlisted, so we got to talk about the PhDs and the foreign affairs specialists that are in on these conversations. And they come up with an idea. Let's strike here, here, and here. I don't know about that target. There's too many houses around. Don't hit that one. So why don't you learn the truth instead of believing in the myth that helps you feel the way you want to feel? Because that's incredibly shallow. I want to hate Obama, so I'm going to believe he orders drone strikes that kill children. You're fucking retarded if you believe that. Or if you believe Bush did it. Come on. Seriously. People that believe stuff like that drag the IQ of this country down. Really. Let's just be reasonable. So let's go on. I've got, I had played you the second clip, or the second video in a series of Republicans say the darndest things. And again, this girl didn't know a whole hell of a lot about the economy or whatever. And it seems like he picked this girl out. I haven't shared the link yet. He picked this girl out sitting on a park bench. For all I know, she was an actress who was told to act dumber. I don't know. Again, for an average person, I thought she handled things pretty well, better than a lot I've heard. And, I've played some silly videos. So we're going to have to find a better one that picks on Democrats and then find one that picks on libertarians. I have some videos that pick on libertarians, but something like Shit Libertarians Say, which is a pretty good one, but I don't have it on my computer right now. Don't know what I did with that one, so we'll find it later. But let's get on to the next one here. This is Republicans say the darndest things. And it's not just Republicans, but in this video, yeah, it's Republicans. So let's do it.
Art Linkletter and the Kids. Join us for 15 minutes of unrehearsed, unpredictable fun with children. With the Pied Piper of TV and radio, the people are funny man, Art Linkletter.
Hello there. I've been talking to people on radio and television for 19 years, and I found that the most interesting and the best interviews are with ladies over 80 and with children under 10. And for the same reason, they tell you the truth. Without fear or favor, they answer any question you want to know. Yes, for fresh, spontaneous, unrehearsed interviews, you can't beat the kids. So let's go in and talk to them.
I think it is a tragedy of the first proportion that a private corporation can be subjected to what I would characterize as a shakedown. In this case, a $20 billion shakedown. I apologize.
People walk into a doctor's office and the first thing they ask you for is your insurance card.
Yes, they do. And
when
as
you
soon
make
as you
an
say you don't have one, can I speak to the doctor? Can I speak to someone
they want
who's
that
in
insurance
charge? Yes, they do.
Of course,
they're used to doing that. But let's change the system and talk about what the possibilities are. I'm telling you that this works. Before we all started having health care in the olden days, our grandparents, they would bring a chicken to the doctor. They would say, I'll paint your house. They would do, that's the old days of what people would do to get health care with their doctors. Doctors are very sympathetic people. I'm not backing down from that system.
But this Congress keeps going the way it is. People are really looking toward those Second Amendment remedies. They're saying, my goodness, what can we do to turn this country around? And I'll tell you, the first thing we need to do is take Harry Reid out.
My grandmother was not a highly educated woman, but she told me as a small child to quit feeding stray animals. You know why?
They never breed.
Because they breed. You're facilitating the problem. If you give an animal or a person ample food supply, they will reproduce. Especially one that don't think too much further than that. And so what you've got to do is you've got to curtail that type of behavior. They don't know any better. I can show you a bar graph where free and reduced lunch has the worst test scores in the state of South Carolina. You show me the school that has the highest free and reduced lunch, and I'll show you the worst test scores, folks. It's there. Period.
We've been battling this socialist health care, the nationalization of health care, that is going to absolutely kill senior citizens. They'll put them on a list and force them to die early.
This president, I think, has exposed himself as a guy over and over and over again who has a deep-seated hatred for white people. I'm not saying that he doesn't like white people. I'm saying he has a problem. This guy is, I believe, a racist.
As the economy performs worse than expected, the deficit for the 2010 budget year beginning in October will worsen by $87 billion to $1.3 trillion. The deterioration reflects lower tax revenues and higher costs for bank failures, unemployment benefits, and food stamps. But in the Oval Office of the White House, none of this is a problem. This is the objective. The objective is unemployment. The objective is more food stamp benefits. The objective is more unemployment benefits. The objective is an expanding welfare state. And the objective is to take the nation's wealth and return it to the nation's, quote, rightful owners. Think reparations. Think forced reparations here if you want to understand what actually is going on.
My friends, we're going to run this campaign on positive, constructive ideas. And it's important that we motivate and inspire people for something. This fellow here over here with the yellow shirt, Makaka, or whatever his name is, he's with my opponent. He's following us around everywhere. And it's just great. We're going to places all over Virginia. And he's having it on film, and it's great to have you here, and you show it to your opponent because he's never been there and probably will never come. So it's good for you. In the real world. Rather than living inside the Beltway, or his opponent actually right now is with a bunch of Hollywood movie moguls. We care about fact, not fiction. So welcome. Let's give a welcome to Makaka here. Welcome to America and the real world of Virginia.
You've cited Alaska's proximity to Russia as part of your foreign policy experience. What did you mean by that?
That Alaska has a very narrow maritime border between a foreign country, Russia, and on our other side, the land boundary that we have with Canada. It's funny that a comment like that was kind of made to, I don't know, you know, reporters.
Mocked?
Yeah, mocked, I guess that's the word, yeah.
Well, explain to me why that enhances your foreign policy credentials.
Well, it certainly does, because our next door neighbors are foreign countries. They're in the state that I am the executive of. And
have you ever been involved with any negotiations, for example, with the Russians?
We have trade missions back and forth. We do. It's very important when you consider even national security issues with Russia, as Putin rears his head and comes into the airspace of the United States of America. Where do they go? It's Alaska. It's just right over the border. It is from Alaska that we send those out to make sure that an eye is being kept on this very powerful nation, Russia, because they are right there. They are right next to our state.
But the other thing about her, she does know about international relations because she is right up there in Alaska, right next door to Russia.
Believe me, Steve.
Barack Obama, at a very young age, from like age 1 to 6, was with Islamic.
Is he a terrorist?
You want a soundbite?
I just want to know if you think he's a terrorist. Do you think he's a terrorist?
I think he's a one-man terrorist cell.
He's a terrorist?
Definitely. He's got the bloodlines.
What does that mean?
Just think about it. Look at the name.
So you do think he's a terrorist?
I didn't say that, but
I think he is.
You do? Why?
He's got the connection.
Look at his name.
Okay. When did you first hear of Obama?
4 years ago.
Was that when he was developing Acorn, or was that...
What do you know about Acorn?
I know that it propagated low-income housing to people that couldn't afford it in the Chicago area.
Here comes the Obama baby.
When's the first time you heard of Acorn?
Today. When is the first time you heard of Obama?
I'm asking you guys, when is the first time you heard?
Maybe the first time you heard of Obama.
4 years ago.
Exactly, sir. Your point right there.
Sarah.
Before we ever heard of Obama.
When did you first hear of Obama?
Maybe 2 years ago, a flash on CNN.
So you heard of Sarah Palin 2 years ago, too?
Actually, 3 years ago.
Really?
Yes, really.
Refuses questions unless he offers them in writing to you.
I think you're stupid.
Why, sir?
because that guy gets elected, he hangs around with terrorists.
Who's the terrorist?
Obama.
Obama's a terrorist, don't you know that?
Obama's a Muslim. He's a terrorist himself.
Do you really believe that, sir? Do you really believe that? You believe that Senator Obama is a terrorist?
I believe he supports terrorism.
Here it is. Love it.
That's what you want. Commie faggots. Commie faggot. Screw Obama. Boo. Fight down, boys. Die. European socialist.
You think they
Bill Ayers, you scumbag.
You think they should die, sir? You think they should die?
Everyone dies, don't they?
You'd have to ask them, Chris. I'm focusing on Barack Obama and the people that he's been associating with.
But do you suspect that a lot of people you serve with,
their anti-American nature?
Well, he's a United States Senator from Illinois. He's one of the people you suspect as being anti-American. How many people in the Congress of the United States do you think are anti-American? You've already suspected Barack Obama. Is he alone, or are there others? How many do you suspect of your colleagues as being anti-American?
What I would say is that the news media should do a penetrating expose and take a look. I wish they would. I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America? I think people would love to see an expose like that.
Okay, thank you very much. U.S. Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann of Minnesota.
Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
You know, the Bajanka, I might have to work with that. I don't know if I like the... yeah, I don't know if I like it. You know, it's exploratory. Everything. This whole fucking show's exploratory, so I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and it's not going to come with a bunch of preordained structure. This is just something I play with. So, you know, crazy people. I've got a list up here of some of, you know, we kind of started off with dumb, but that last video was kind of more hatred than dumb. Believing in silly myths, jumping onto the conspiracy bandwagon, whatever someone says in any higher level, whether they're some sort of expert with a quote before and a quote after, or they're some government official, if they'll say something that helps me to hate the people I want to hate, well, then I'll jump on with them. I'll jump in with their lot. One day that's not going to bother me anymore, and I don't know when that day is. Oh, I noticed that the news guy has a show on right now. He just posted in The Ballsiest, only The Ballsiest from Spreaker and iHeartRadio, a little group I had created that has turned into kind of a joke, but also not. I mean, it's, you know, I like small groups. I've created probably 75, 80 Facebook pages and groups for different causes. And I tend to find myself only engaging in the smaller groups. Maybe it's because I can keep up with them. But like I'm in this Capitals group from my Washington Capitals team. There's only maybe 100 or 200 people in it. This one's only got 84 people. And maybe it's just a sense of a smaller community that I like, and I can get to know the characters and the players, if you will. So I'll go ahead and share this. If you think you're ballsy and you have a radio show, you're not afraid of anybody, then you may want to come and apply for membership. And this group continues to be formed and edited, and it is malleable in some ways. And I think we are in the process of, I don't know if we're going to take it seriously. I got to tell you, I'm enjoying doing this show at a non-prime time spot where I don't get messed with too much. Yeah, I can just do my show. It's more like I don't know, it's like being able to sing in the shower versus having to sing in the grocery store. Sometimes you don't want an audience. You just want to enjoy the act, the verbiage. You're doing the verb. If you're doing something, it's a verb. Go ahead. Try to tell me something you can do that's not a verb. It's a verb. It's a verb. Yep. You're running. You're shitting. You're smacking somebody. You're verbing. That's right. We need a lot more verbs in this country that do not involve a device. Everybody's on their device.